right, welcome back to another episode of Nature Aquariums TV, where today we're going to talk about what should go into your aquarium first aid kit. But before we get with our video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this. Welcome back. We want to talk about what should be in your home aquarium first aid kit. Now, we all do have, or should have, a first aid kit for ourselves, and we know what to put in there, but do you really know what to have in your first aid kit for your home aquarium? So today we're going to cover both fresh and salt water, and I'm going to give you my hand-picked basics. Doesn't mean this covers everything, but this is the single most essential items that you're going to need to at least cover the majority of emergencies. First up, let's talk about testing. In my humble opinion, there's only two minimal of test kits that you should always have at home. One should be an ammonia and a nitrite. Now, usually the better quality test kits will handle both freshwater and saltwater, and this is why you need to know this. If something happened biologically in your tank, your ammonia will spike or your nitrite will spike. Both of those you will have to deal with via water changes or have to look into your biological filtration, but it's going to tell you something broke in your tank. So very important, make sure you have an up-to-date ammonia test kit and nitrite. I also need to warn you about test kits. As soon as this seal is broken and the test kit's been exposed to air, it slowly starts to break down. And they usually have about a 6-month lifespan of it being open before the tests are no longer as accurate. So one good way to do this, if you keep them in a box or you keep them outside, grab a Sharpie and write the date that you cracked open the seal on them, and that way you'll know when, 6 months from then you should toss them out. Next thing we want to talk about that should be in your tank. This is for freshwater. It's brackish salt from Seachem. Now, I don't know of any other brand that makes brackish salt. The difference between brackish salt and regular aquarium salt is that aquarium salt has chloride in it, sodium chloride, versus the brackish salt doesn't. If you have a planted tank or you plan on having plants in your tank, then don't use regular aquarium salt like API salt or anything, because it will burn your plants. Versus brackish salt, you can use it to alleviate issues with your fish. If you have ick, if you have anything, if your fish are stressed out, this will work but will not burn your plants. Now, obviously, if you have fake plants, and you don't have any live plants and you never plan on having them, having then regular salt is very important in your first aid kit. Make sure the lid is tight or the bag is sealed so it doesn't continue sucking in moisture. But remember, brackish salt for planted tanks, regular salt for non-planted. Moving on to some chemicals. Now, I don't know if you've heard me talk about this before. The chlorinators are important. Even if you have a saltwater tank, I'm going to strongly suggest that you have a dechlorinator with you. And you're going to say, well, we use salt water, we use DI water, RO water. That's great. Emergencies will happen when you least expect them to, and you may not have access to RO water. So, and if you ever have to use tap water, a good dechlorinator will at least give you an extra volume of water, a gallon, anything until you can get some RO water from your store. Please have one of these. There's also another reason why I strongly suggest having a dechlorinator with you. Fresh or salt, you need to clean stuff. You need to clean filter equipment. You need to clean the sponges. You need to clean any of that things. You shouldn't be cleaning it with running tap water, as it will kill the biological load on there, the chlorine will. Set up a bucket, put a little bit of dechlorinator. Now you have a bucket of clean dechlorinated water. Now you can clean your sponges, you can clean your biological bags, you can clean anything related to it. So it gives you a good way to get rid of chlorine. If you are bleaching and cleaning your sock filters, if you're cleaning and bleaching your Purigen, you're going to need to have dechlorinator with you. So a good dechlorinator doesn't go bad. They have a really long shelf life. They're good to have both fresh and salt water. Lastly, two more things. Zeolite is actually a mineral that binds heavy metals and ammonia, especially ammonia. And I recommend you having a sealed bag of zeolite as your first aid kit, because if you ever have to pull out a fish and put them in a little hospital tank and that tank is not cycled, or you're treating with medications, put zeolite in there. It's going to bind the ammonia that the fish is going to produce. It's not a replacement for your biological filter, but swapping out the bags of zeolite will allow the fish to not be stressed over high ammonia spikes. Have one of these, make sure it's sealed, or the bottle is sealed nice and tight, and then have some mesh bags if you don't buy it already in the mesh form, and you can drop it into a hang on the back canister filter. Also, if you happen to have an ammonia outbreak for some reason, you can always throw this into your filter and it'll help with the ammonia. Lastly, I was reminded of this by a couple of cases of customers that had some sudden deaths in their tanks, and they were caused by VOCs, volatile organic compounds, that are found in paints, solvents, and household cleaners. Both cases, within a month, customers were doing a deep clean in their home, getting ready for the holidays, and their fish started gasping for air. And one of the things they did, they were really stripping the floors out, put an air pump, and the air pump started injecting more of the VOCs into the tank. So that got me into thinking that one of the things that we should have, all of us, is access to sealed bags of carbon. And I'm going to say you need to have them sealed because carbon, it's a great filter. It also filters out VOCs from the air. So if the carbon is exposed to air, it's going to start getting saturated. I can't overstate the importance of having some high quality carbon. And I don't mean the cheap stuff that you buy for 99 cents. The higher level carbons are shaped and are formed so that they react faster than conventional carbon. That is pretty much my first aid kit. To recap, you need to have your ammonia nitrate test kit to make sure, see what's going on in your tank. Have the Chlorinator to handle any emergencies, whether you need to add fresh water to a saltwater tank, whether you need to clean something, the Chlorinator is important. Have zeolite in case you need to set up a hospital tank or you have a sudden ammonia spike. Have salt for the freshwater tanks to make sure you can help with any disease or you stress or the fish have damage. And lastly, have high quality carbon that's sealed and ready to go at a moment's notice. I hope you never have to use your first aid kit. Okay, we all love our fish. I love our fish. I love your fish. I want to make sure they're all great, but you need to be prepared. And as always, we thank you for watching and supporting us. Please write your comments down below. I'd love to hear what else is in your emergency kit. So use the comments below, and I may incorporate it into another video with some of the additions. Everybody has used some product that works really well, and I'd love to hear about it. And I can only learn from you guys. As always, have great fish keeping. Have a great day, and remember to like, share, and subscribe.